Democrats and Republicans don't agree on much when it comes to criminal justice, but one topic they can agree on is civil asset forfeiture. Civil asset forfeiture is a controversial practice that allows police to seize private property if they so much as think it's connected to criminal activity. And they don't even have to have proof to do it. Simply suspecting criminal activity is enough to justify it. Police can seize assets without charging the owner with a crime, and this means that innocent people can lose their property, lose cash, cars, even a house, based on mere suspicion. But what's most messed up is once the property is seized, innocent until proven guilty doesn't really apply. Instead, the burden of proof often falls on the property owner to prove their innocence and reclaim their assets, which can be a costly and time-consuming process. Third, law enforcement agencies are often able to keep the proceeds they get from seized assets, creating a potential conflict of interest. I mean, it doesn't take an expert to see that the status quo basically incentivizes police to confiscate valuable items under extremely thin pretenses. In 2017, police in Texas alone seized $50 million worth of private property. Like many problems with our criminal justice system, civil asset forfeiture disproportionately affects low-income communities and people of color. It's a denial of due process rights, and it prioritizes policing for profit over ensuring public safety. Thankfully, the issue has gotten mainstream attention in recent weeks because of its role at the center of the plot of the recent hit Netflix movie Rebel Ridge, and there's a growing bipartisan consensus to reform or abolish this policy altogether. This month in Texas, 2 bills have been introduced in the state legislature that would, quote, make asset forfeiture much more difficult and require law enforcement to give detailed public reports explaining what they seized and why, according to Texas Tribune writer Robert Donen. An even conservative lobby group, Right on Crime, has called for reforms to civil forfeiture in its list of policy priorities for 2025.